going on, y'all? Welcome back to another Monday Night Raw review. And man, did this Monday Night Raw feel different than last Monday Night Raw? So, without even delay, we kick it off with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch comes out and basically do a face promo confirming that she has turned face. Basically saying after last night she realized all the bad things she's done and trying to basically just make enough for it. She realized who she is. The whole notion. I remember how a while back Bianca told Becky that she wouldn't know who she is without the title. And she said, she confirmed to hear that she really didn't. But now she realized who she is and that she doesn't need the title. She doesn't define the title. The title doesn't define her. She defined the title. She doesn't. A man doesn't define her. She defined the man. All that type of good stuff. And that she basically gave like an apology to the fans for the way she's been acting. And that wouldn't be the first. And that won't be this is only the first or two. Basically, I've been a-hole apologies of the night. And then she invited Bianca Belair out the ring to basically pay more respect. And then she left giving Bianca the floor, to which Bianca explained why she's giving respect to Becky Lynch despite everything that Becky Lynch put her through. And before she could continue, there was the screen, the Titantron, and us viewers at home got to see that something was going on backstage, to which we see Becky Lynch being beat up by Beatty is what I was trying to say. Dakota Kai and Io Sky. I almost call it Io. Well, Io. It's still Io. Io Sky beating up Becky Lynch backstage. Bianca would take off and try to help her, but by the time she got back there, they were gone. Also, it's to note that I guess their group name is called Control. At least that's what she said on Twitter. Beatty put on Twitter that they are Control or whatever. The first match of the night was one of two planned triple threat matches. Basically, to determine these triple threat matches was to determine who would face Bobby Lashley the next week for the United States Championship, as it was revealed later on the night that the match would be next week. And here in Cleveland, Ohio. Now, I would have been going to the show. I'm not gonna lie, I would have went to the show, but I found out so late. I think I found out like a couple of days, like a day or two before SummerSlam, that they was gonna be here. And by the time I was like, oh man, by the time I figured that out, I was like, dang it, it's too late for tickets. Because tickets the party sold out. But then again, I don't really want to go to Raw. I want to go to SmackDown because I've been to Raw twice. I haven't been to SmackDown yet, like in person. I haven't been to SmackDown in person. But yeah, back to the show. The first two planned triple threat matches, and this was a good match. It was actually good. It was the first one was AJ Styles versus Mustafa Ali and The Miz. The winner would go on to face the winner of the other triple threat match later on that night. And this was a good match. This actually was good. The Miz, Mustafa, and AJ was phenomenal to take it from AJ Styles. They was phenomenal. They had good spots. They had good kickouts. It was just good. It was good in-ring action. But it was even the finish was a good finish sequence where Mustafa hit the splash on The Miz, but AJ came into the ring and caught Mustafa as he was, because you know how when people do the splash, they hit and pop up. And as he popped up from doing the splash, AJ just grabbed Mustafa and hit the style class on him and pinned him to be the person who won the first triple threat match. And this was a good way. I'm not gonna lie, this was good. And then we would get a Seth. It was a backstage promo where they asked Becky and them why they attacked, and they said she basically told her that you'll find out why we do what we do later on. I mean, not later on, but soon enough. Then there was a promo with Seth Rollins, who basically came out to talk about what he did to Riddle, and that his now that Riddle's in his rear view, he wants to focus on Roman Reigns and the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship. Fun fact: that match is advertised for next week for the Raw that take place here in Cleveland. That's actually, they advertised that match is going to take place then. But yeah, during his promo about what he was trying to refocus, when he said that he wanted to be focused on Roman Reigns and the Universal Heavyweight Championship, he would get interrupted before he could say anything else by the Street Profits, who he basically berated them for being losers, saying they're the biggest losers in the company, and that they should break up, and that if it was one of them, if they did have broken, it was one of them, he would have faced one of them. But he said he would like nothing more to come to stomp both their heads into the stage. But because it's two of them and one of him, he said he's not going to. But they gave them the idea to face Rollins on their own. But I think they like try to play the game of rock, paper, scissors to decide. But Montez, when they were doing rock, paper, scissors, they was about to do like the 1, 2, 3. But as they did the rock, paper, scissors, and then Montez just threw like his microphone at Angelo. Angelo was like, "Hey!" And he just took the referee, ran into the ring. Seth Rollins tried to stomp on, and thus we go into the second match of the night, which is Seth Rollins versus Montez Ford, and this was a great match. The promo was good, though. By the way, that was a good promo for Seth Rollins. But then when you get to the second match that's coming off of this promo, it was good. It was so good. I thought Montez Ford was literally going to win. He didn't win, but he looked so good in this match. It give credit to the fact that he might actually not. They might actually be breaking up the Street Profits. Because Montez looked good. He took Seth Rollins to the limit. He almost beat Seth Rollins. They had a good match. Seth Rollins looked good. Even though Seth Rollins won, you could tell that Montez had a chance. And this match, this feels already like a different Raw, like a different regime. But yeah, Seth Rollins took the victory here after Montez he dodged Seth Rollins' splash, but then tried to go for a splash of his own. But Seth Rollins would get the knee up and again hit the stomp to beat Montez Ford, which was a great match. We would get the next match, which is Alexa Bliss versus Asuka, and it was basically giving the implication that they was basically trying to compete against each other to see who. It wasn't official, but you would think that whoever beat who will go a long way to see who would be the next number one contender for Bianca. And they was having their match was it wasn't a good match because it wasn't what was good about this match wasn't the match itself, because the match got to go on for some time, but the match was telling the story. And the story they told here was that in the middle of the match between Alexa Bliss and Asuka, Control or Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky came out and basically caused a disqualification, or was it a no contest? Was it, well, no, yeah, it was a disqualification because it was a no contest, but that's later on in the review. But yeah, they basically came in and attacked Asuka first, thus giving Asuka the win via DQ. But they basically jumped and beat up Asuka and Alexa. But this wouldn't be the last time we see Control and Alexa Bliss and Asuka. We got the next match, which is Dolph Ziggler versus Champa versus Chad Gable, the second of the two triple threat matches. And this was a good one. This was a good match. It just like the first triple threat match, which was the first match of the night. This was also good. It also had its near falls and good move spots and everything. You know, Miz sold the fact that he had injured ribs for his match with Logan Paul. You know, everything was. I love this match, and it was a good match. But in the end, I love who they chose to win. Even though you saw it coming, it was still good. It was still a good enough story to be like, I forgot that I saw this coming. But that's a good thing. That you made me forget that I saw this coming because of who won. And what I mean is because AJ Styles won. He won his triple threat match. It was naturally the best person to win. The second one was Champa, and Champa did. Champa won the match. I think he pinned Chad Gable for the victory. We would get the Edge promo. Edge would come out and basically, back with the You Think You Know Me, his original You Think You Know Me face, music, and he basically apologized for said that he's been an a-hole over the last couple of months, and that his whole reasoning for Judgment Day and the things he was doing was that he thought he could take some people that was underperforming and install his knowledge and raise their stock and raise their level to the next level. But he said, a rare thing happened. He said, what that rare thing was, that it's rare for people to get the jump on him, and that and surprise him, and that's what they did when they usurped him with Finn Balor, and that he basically vowed to destroy what he created in the Judgment Day. We will go on to another match. Now, the next match I forgot to what I said was the one thing I forgot about this match to set this match up was that I forgot to say that when Alexa Bliss and Asuka got attacked by Control, I forgot that Bianca came out yet again to their defense and basically was fed up and was frustrated, and she challenged one of them to a match later on tonight, which was accepted by Io Sky. So that's what this match is. This next match after the Edge promo was Bianca Belair versus Io Sky, and this match was good. It's building off of a story that started in SummerSlam. The women, the animosity made it better from earlier in the night, and I would have actually liked for at least a finish or a DQ finish, but instead we got a no contest because the match was just the reason why I said no contest because none of the people got injured. I mean, not injured, but none of the competitors, like nobody attacked Io or attacked Bianca. What I mean by that too is during the match, Asuka and Alexa will come out and basically attack. Basically gonna be on Bianca's side, and then once the match got to a boiling point, they basically start brawling with each other. Like Bayley and Dakota started brawling with Asuka and Alexa, and that's what got the match thrown out. So it's a no contest, and basically brawl just erupted. It was a great, and it made up for the fact that it was a no contest. Even though I wanted like some type of finish, the brawl that resulted made up for that fact. So I'm cool with it because even though it was a no contest, the brawl afterwards was the best thing about this whole match. And then the next match was Champa versus AJ. The winner faces Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. And this is where it was revealed that that match would be next week. As the match was a good match in itself too, very good match. And what I was surprised was I kind of saw it coming, but I didn't know they was going to actually do it for sure. But then the reason why I say I kind of saw it coming because it would make sense for Bobby Lashley as a face to face a heel anyway. And but it was still surprising to us to see Ciampa get the victory here and get this push into the United States Championship picture. But yeah, Ciampa is your victor here. The main event, which was Rey Mysterio versus Dominic. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio versus the Usos. And this wasn't a championship contenders match. This was for the actual unified undisputed tag team championships. and this was an okay match. It wasn't. It wasn't a. Oh, you know what? No, I'll bump it up to good. It was a good match. It wasn't a great match, but it was a good match just because of the fact that they actually made Dominic look good here again. Like they made it look like he got a lot of potential here again. They build that up again because he almost got the pinfall. At one point, Dominic looked like he was going to get the pinfall victory over Jimmy and win the match. And he would have if it wasn't for Jay breaking up the pin. He would have got the victory. The Usos even though the Usos won here, they still made it look good. They made Rey Mysterio and Dominic look good, because they were this close for winning. If Jay would have been any slower, they would have lost the titles to the Mysterios. But the story here was that Judgment Day came out and started beating up with the Mysterios. They started beating them up, and basically Edge would come out like Bianca earlier with her feuds. Edge would come out and basically try to even up the odds. But the thing how they ended the show with was that during the middle of it, Edge was about to spin Finn Balor, but Rhea would push Dominic into Finn Balor, knocking Finn Balor over, and Edge actually didn't spearing Dominic Mysterio, to which Edge was just like, he looked for a minute concerned, but then he was more so concerned with getting Judgment Day, so he ran out the ring to go chase after them, and left Ray and the audience and the commentators confused about what happened. Overall, this show was a good show. I would give this episode of Monday Night Raw, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 big ups, because this was a great show. I loved everything on here. None of these matches had anything wrong with them. If I would have to nitpick this where something was wrong, it would just be the fact that, like I said, that Bianca versus Io Sky was a no contest. But the fact that the Brawl made up for it just means that this was a great start to the Triple H regime. Like I said, 8 big ups. And if you feel the same way, let me know in the comments down below or what you thought of this episode of Monday Night Raw. And if you enjoyed this video, you hit that button right there in the upper right corner for all of my WWE reviews. And if you enjoyed this video so much and want to support the channel, hit those buttons. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content, but don't go anywhere, because I got some of that content coming up next. Peace out.